Hi, I'm Catherine Coates, Principal Lecturer on Graphic Design and Illustration, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our studio spaces and facilities today. So this is Waverley 301. If you're a first year on the course, this is the main space you would be working in. You can see on the tables here some examples of the type of work that we do. So record sleeve interpretations, typographic experiments. You can see it's a making and thinking space. Tables to make, sketch, draw, craft your ideas, max to produce and test the final outcomes. You can see on the wall here, there's a fantastic mural. This was done by one of our ex-students, Super Freak as he's known now. This mural is supposed to show what it's like to be a first year student on graphic design at NTU. We'll leave you to draw your own conclusions from that when you join us to start your studies with us. So this is 307. This is another example of a studio space for us, slightly different in that it's more about making and crafting, so digital and analogue production. So we've got guillotines, we've got binders, obviously cutting tables, large format printers, and specialist calibration and specialist printing tools, so for special ink production, spot varnish, neon colours, white printing on dark paper, all sorts of paper you can print and test. You might want to make books, you might want to make packaging, anything you can test and prototype and craft here to see if your ideas can actually come to life and be made real for a graphic design audience. This is an example of a technician-led space. So one of our technicians lives in here permanently and is here to support the students with photographing the work. It might be photographing packaging, prototypes, or final publications. You can see we've got a large format printer here, anything up to AO, full colour printing on different paper stocks. Another specialist printer and calibration unit. Foiling, so all kind of production, paper print and production, as well as final production, photographing, realising work for your portfolio. So this is where you would probably spend a large proportion of your final year crafting and making the artefacts for your final portfolio, getting ready to step out to industry. So this is an example of our illustration studios, one of several studios that we have. A great example of a community space. We expect you to be in here working with your peers, learning from each other, sharing ideas and learning how to produce and present work. There's an example here of work students have produced on the wall. So again, we like to celebrate the work our students have done by showcasing it in the spaces that they work in. And some examples of a one-day workshop here. So a lino cutting workshop. Work done very quickly, very sharply, getting you thinking by doing and making, and just a great way to have fun and begin to develop your skills as a first year on the illustration programme. So this is another example of a graphic design studio. So really fantastic space, great light, great space to work. You can see again we've got technical kit in the studio. We're looking at making our studio spaces as professional as possible. And there's another great example here of an illustration student on the master's programme who we invited to work on the space. A little piece about self-identity, what she was about as an illustrator, her personality, and just a great direct piece of design and visual communication. When students are given the chance, they love to show their work and celebrate the work in the spaces that we have. And again, mirroring that idea of making and then producing and crafting, this is an example of one of our technical spaces. So great range of kit, all the industry standard software that you would expect. It's really important that our students have the skills, knowledge, both technical, both digital and analogue, to be able to make that step into industry. So it's not just thinking about ideas, drawing on paper, it's actually realising ideas too, and the technical resources are key to students being able to do that. So this is a great example of one of the specialist resources that the School of Art and Design have put in place for the students. There's laser cutting and 3D printing, and students from graphic design and illustration will use this space to test and prototype their ideas. So that's all we've got to show you for today. There's lots more in the School of Art and Design for you to look at and share when you join us. We hope you've enjoyed seeing our spaces, and we look forward and hope to see you in the future to join us at NTU to study one of our creative courses.